Yo, what's going on, you guys? I'm FlipArtz. We're back here on Fortnite taking a look at your road trip challenges, your road trip missions. However, in today's video, we're not just going to be looking at the road trip missions or challenges here. We're going to be looking at the prestiged version of these road trip challenges or missions. And if you guys haven't seen the previous video that I did talking about your regular road trip challenges or road trip missions, go and check them out. They talk about how to complete them, what you guys got to do for them, and their rewards. Again, they are going to be here on the channel. But today, we are going to be looking at the road trip prestiged version of those missions. And as you guys can see on screen here, once you guys complete all of your missions for the road trip challenges, you're going to see it says it's at 100%. And when you guys go and click into the challenges, you guys can see at the top you've completed everything there. All the rewards have been met, and in the middle there it says complete all normal mission objectives to unlock prestige mission objectives. And then over there at the bottom right, you guys can see it says to prestige bundle. Once you guys go and click into that, you guys will be seeing more new challenges here, 7 new challenges as well as 7 new rewards, and all of these are going to be slightly harder objectives and of course better rewards. And so going into our very first challenge here for our prestiged versions of these missions for the road trip challenges or road trip missions, it's going to be to visit the drift painted Durburger head, a dinosaur, and a stone head statue, but it's going to be in a single match. And the reason I say this is because from the previous one, for your basic ones, it was just to visit these 3 locations. It doesn't matter how many matches it took, but in this one it's going to make you guys do it in a single match. Of course, if you guys saw the video that I just uploaded before this one here, you're going to be able to see that I was actually able to get it all done in a single match regardless of what the challenge said. So this one might be a little bit more difficult for you guys, but honestly the easiest way is obviously to go and land over at the Durburger head, which is obviously going to be over at Pleasant Park, and then go and grab one of the hoverboards and make your way quickly over to the Lazy Lagoon area. Go find yourself one of those stonehead statues. In this one I'm showing you guys the other one because there's actually 2 different locations you guys can go to find for these stonehead statues. After this, you're going to want to go and make your way all the way down to the Paradise Palms region. Again, if you guys saw the video that I did before this, you're going to be able to find this location. Of course, you guys can also see it here in the gameplay. There's going to be 3 different dinosaurs here. It doesn't matter which one you guys are closest to, you guys are going to be able to go and complete this challenge. Of course, this is going to be counted as something that's going to be more difficult because you have to do this all in a single match. Of course, if you guys are lucky, you guys can also abuse the way the circle works. Of course, depending on where the circle is, you guys can go outside of the circle and then go and visit one of the other different POIs that aren't in the current circle, and then obviously go and complete the rest of the challenge by visiting those that are still in the circle for this challenge. Also, if you guys do want to make any of these challenges a little bit easier for yourself, all or most of these challenges are able to have party assists. So if you guys are playing in a duo or preferably a squad for this one, because there are 3 different locations, you can go and rally up with your squad and ask them to each go to one of these different locations to help you guys complete this challenge, to basically complete it within a couple of seconds. Now moving on to our second challenge here, it's going to be to get eliminations while riding a vehicle, and to complete this challenge you need to get 5 eliminations. Now what's nice about this one is that you don't have to do this in a single match like the previous one, so you guys can be a little bit more lenient with this one. You guys are going to be able to take your time with this one. Of course, if you guys are comfortable with the hoverboard, obviously go with using a hoverboard, but obviously right now probably the mech, the robot, is probably going to be the better way to go and do this, because obviously it's just a lot easier to go and navigate with this, stomp on people, use those missiles, those shotguns as mounted on it. You're going to be able to go and put that damage down and get your eliminations easier. Again, you guys can also use this as party assist, and your friends are going to be able to help you guys out with this challenge. Now moving on to our third challenge here, it's going to be to destroy stop signs with the Catalyst outfit in a single match. And to complete this challenge, you need to go and destroy 7 of the stop signs. Now again, if you guys saw the previous video, I did mention that Pleasant Park is probably your best bet to go and actually completing this challenge. And if you guys are lucky, Pleasant Park is going to be still the best place for you guys to go and to complete this challenge. And as you guys can see in the gameplay here in this clip right here, you're obviously going to need to be using the Catalyst outfit, the female drift skin. That way you guys are going to be able to complete this challenge to go and destroy the stop signs. Obviously using any other skin will not go and count towards this challenge. It has to be the Catalyst skin. And obviously when you guys go here, as you guys can see, there are plenty of stop signs to go around. If anything, there might be a little bit extra remaining. And obviously with this challenge, like it says, you have to do it in a single match, which is going to be maybe a little bit one of the harder parts of this challenge. I was actually lucky here to go and land at Pleasant Park and be able to have pretty much this whole place to myself. But I won't lie to you guys, this challenge was a little bit difficult in terms of the fact that I was doing pretty much every single challenge here solo, which means I wasn't having a squad to go and party assist any of these challenges with, as well as for a lot of the parts of when I was actually getting into the battle bus, my battle bus would always go towards Pleasant Park, or it would be right on top of Pleasant Park, meaning a lot of people would go here, and a lot of people were actually just destroying the stop signs, whether they realized it or not, whether it was for their challenges or just stray bullets that were going by in the middle of gunfire. So it took a little bit of time, but eventually I was actually able to go and get a full set of 7 completed here on my run with pretty much no problem when I was in this area. Now moving on to our 4th challenge here, it's going to be to deal damage to opponents while riding a zipline. And to complete this challenge, you need to deal 300 points worth of damage. Now honestly, a challenge like this really shouldn't be that difficult at all. I was actually pretty lucky, as when I was actually doing this, again, I was still in a Pleasant Park, and there were people that were actually just building near the top where the zip lines actually meet, and I was just riding these back and forth and breaking down their builds and taking damage on them, and they wouldn't shoot back for whatever reason. So I was fairly lucky to be able to go and continue what I was doing before I was obviously taken out. And then obviously here you guys can see in another gameplay here, I'm attempting it again, and I'm here on a zip line, and unlucky for me, I had a sniper, I had a drum gun, I wasn't really able to get anything going here, and everybody was pretty much just sitting behind or inside of a building. But you guys can see I got a very lucky sniper shot here to actually finish off the rest of my challenge here to give me a little bit over the 300 damage that I needed in total. And here you guys can see I get the snipe shot on this guy. Unfortunately, I didn't take him out, but that would have been a pretty nasty sniper shot. Now moving on to our 5th challenge here, it's going to be to eliminate opponents in a different name locations. And to complete this challenge, you need to get 1 elimination in 5 different name locations. So a challenge like this isn't really that difficult at all. All you have to really worry about is making sure that you are obviously getting those eliminations in those different name locations. You guys can't be landing in the same place every single match and it will count towards your challenge. It doesn't really work like that. You can't land at Salty Springs 5 times in a row and get an elimination there 5 times in a row to try and finesse the challenge to get this one completed. So you guys are going to have to go and make sure you guys are actually inside of these different name locations, these different POIs, to get these eliminations. So again, a challenge like this really shouldn't be difficult. It's just going to be like you guys playing a regular match out, moving from place to place. You don't have to worry about doing this in a single match either. So you guys can take as many chances, as many matches as you need to go and get this challenge completed. Now coming in for our second last challenge here, it's going to be to visit different name locations in a single match. And to complete this challenge, you need to visit 10 different named locations. Now this one might seem a little bit more difficult, but honestly, depending on which way you guys really want to approach this challenge, it's really not that difficult at all. If you guys are going to try to do this match in terms of you playing normally, you guys trying to go and get the W, trying to get the victory royale, it will probably turn out to be a little bit more difficult for you. But if you guys are thinking about it for just completing the challenge itself, it's really not going to be that big of a deal if you guys are not worried about your win to loss ratio, your kill to death ratio, anything like that. All you have to really do here, and as you guys can see in the gameplay here, is what I did is I landed kind of close to Junk Junction, but instead of landing right into Junk Junction, I actually landed a little bit more east to where this location is, where the racetrack is, just so I can go and loot up a little bit, get the bare minimum here, as well as what's nice about this area is there's a decent amount of loot here that you guys can go for, and a little bit of RNG is going to be required for this one, because if you guys are lucky enough, you might be able to get 1 to 2 chests that spawn in this building here, which means you guys will be just a little bit more situated loot wise. So once you guys are done here on the racetrack, there is going to be a hoverboard, and you guys are going to be able to go and just take this hoverboard and loop around the map here without trying to be contested for any gunfights. The only reason I make you guys go land here first is you guys can go ahead and try to get some decent weapons here, some decent loadouts going on here, and hopefully again with some luck from the RNG, you guys are going to be able to get some couple of chests here to again give you guys a decent loadout, something that you guys can be able to at least defend yourself with if you guys do end up having to be in some sort of gunfight. And so basically the run that I decided to go from here is what I did is I took the hoverboard from this little racetrack area, went over to Junk Junction, that'd be place number 1, and very close by to this one I went down to Haunted Hills, and then I looped around the mountaintop here going back to Pleasant Park, and then went back north from Pleasant Park going over to the block, and that's already going to be 4 different locations right there. And then from here going down to Loot Lake, that's going to be location number 5, making our way up back to Lazy Lagoon, that's going to be location number 6, and then making my way east I went over to a Pressure Plant, which makes that number 7, and going back down over to Mega Mall, making that number 8, and then I looped back around to Lonely Lodge, making that number 9, and then ending off at the top of the map there at Sunny Steps, making that location number 10. Now obviously you can make this easier on yourself. You guys can just go and pick a route that makes more sense to you guys in any which way you guys want to. You don't have to do it the way I did. Of course, for example here, a choice that I could have made a little bit more easier on myself here is when I got to Pressure Plant, I could have went to Sunny Steps and then to Lonely Lodge and then to Mega Mall. That way I could have just made it a little bit more easier instead of double backing all the way around in this way and the other. But obviously I opted to go this way. I also kind of needed to go that way as well because I ended up breaking my hoverboard and hoping that there'd be something around that way, as well as I could take a slipstream that was from Mega Mall and then bring it back into Lonely Lodge. I decided to go that route instead, but of course again it doesn't really matter which way you guys do this, but this is just the way I found to make it a little bit easier myself, and hopefully again you guys can make it easier on yourself this way as well. And then moving into our last and final challenge here, it's going to be to get trick points in a vehicle and in a single match, and to complete this challenge you need to do 500,000 points worth of trick points. Now, honestly, this challenge again isn't going to be that difficult at all, and that's saying a lot from somebody who doesn't really like using a hoverboard. Of course, again, the easiest way to do this is just going to kind of like a secluded area somewhere that you know a lot of people really won't be, so that you guys can go and try to complete this challenge. Doing very simple backflips, you know, one backflip at a time, will go and accumulate eventually to 500,000 points. But obviously, the best way to actually do this is if you guys get a lot of air time. The longer you guys are in the air, and actually the more flips you guys do, the more points that will actually be added to your grand total. And you guys can be able to see here that I actually end up doing a couple of good number of flips here to actually be able to go and get myself a racked amount of points, as well as the more time you spend in the air, the more air time you guys actually get before you land, the more points you actually accumulate as well. So you gotta have the fine mixture between, you know, doing a bunch of the different tricks, as well as the amount of air time you guys are actually going to be doing. And of course, ultimately, you guys need to make sure you guys land when you guys are doing these tricks and when you guys are having that air time, because if you guys botch the landing even a little bit, it's going to count as a bailout and you're not going to get those points that you guys were working for. And so once you guys have completed these missions, obviously you guys will be rewarded per mission completed, and ultimately when you guys complete all 7 of them, you guys get the ultimate reward. So completing your first mission will give you guys 1000 season level XP. Completing your second mission or challenge will give you guys another 1000 season level XP. Completing your third mission here as well will also give you guys another 1000 season level XP. Now when you guys complete your fourth mission here, you guys will be rewarded with a spray that obviously you guys can put on the wall, the ground, anything like that. And it's going to be a very cool spray of drift, and it's actually called Drift. And what's cool about this spray though is that it's very unique in the sense that it looks like one of the rifts that you would take normally, as well as inside of the rift, half of it looks like drift with the mask on and the other half looks like drift with the mask off. Now from here, when you complete your fifth mission, you guys will be rewarded again with 1000 season level XP. And when you get to your sixth mission and complete that, you guys will be rewarded with another 1000 season level XP. And finally, when you guys complete the last and final mission here, your seventh mission for the challenges here, you guys will be rewarded with a variant skin here, a variant selectable style for our catalyst skin, which is going to be called the Rift Storm, which basically gives you guys the same look of the OG drift skin. It's going to have that black pants, it's going to have that gold, white, pink look to it. It's going to be basically looking like the OG skin of drift, except obviously on the female version of it here on Catalyst. And so there you guys have it. You have completed all of your road trip challenges, your standard road trip challenges, as well as your prestiged version of the road trip challenges. From here, there's nothing else you really have to do. You guys can go and play it out and wait for your next new challenges to come out in the next couple of days here. But for now, that's gonna about wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, remember to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on post notifications here on the channel by hitting that bell icon next to the subscribe button. Also follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with everything going on regarding my videos, my channel, my streams, and myself. And speaking about streams, guys, I am streaming over on Twitch at twitch.tv/FlipArtz Live. And if you guys haven't heard, we're actually going to be giving away some battle passes for this season, because we're able to actually gift out battle passes until August 15th. So you guys don't want to miss out. If you guys want to be entered to that, all you have to do is make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitter, as well as follow me over on Twitch. And I'm going to be streaming pretty much every single day, so you guys are going to make sure that you guys have notifications turned on everywhere. That way you guys don't miss out when I stream, as well as when that's going on. I'm going to be announcing who is going to be winning these free battle passes as I go along with these streams. So hopefully I'm going to be able to see you guys there. Hopefully you guys go and drop that follow. Thank you guys again for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Arts out.